Hello, Aquarius. I had to remember who I was doing just now. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your mid-July Soulmate Session. I am Marlo. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. And if you resonate with this message, don't forget to tickle my like button because, she's kinky and she's into that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, anywho, we're going to go ahead and jump right into you guys' cards. We are going to be looking at you, your person of interest, the energy between the two of you. So, your connection pretty much. Yesterday, I had this really dope idea of calling it the behoovement card. I find that hilarious. But anywho, and then we're looking at an outcome and some advice for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump in. And for you, my beautiful Aquarius, okay, we have the 10 of coins. Okay, so I mean, you guys are in a good place. You're feeling very content. You're feeling stable. You know what I'm saying? Like you're committed to the situation that you're in and you're pretty freaking happy. You know what I'm saying? I do feel a vibe though of you guys kind of being curious of what's next. And I think that's more of a Taurian thing, to be quite honest, Aquarius, where it's kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you're fully aware that everything is Gucci now. Everything is exactly how you would hope, wish, desire for it to be. But it's kind of wondering, how long is this going to last? Is something going to shift? Is something going to change? Because you're in a good place with yourself and in reference to your person of interest. But I tell you, yes, there are seasons in life, but don't worry about that. Enjoy your happiness. You feel what I'm saying? So for your person, oh, child, I'm loving it. Your person, that we got Aries energy. We have the Fool card. So your person is on the same page that you are, Aquarius. I mean, so far, can I just be honest that this is probably like the best one so far? You know what I'm saying? But more or less, your person is hopeful for the future that the two of you would have together. And I feel more or less they're completely submitted and surrendering to love. Dag nabbit, son of a gun. Like, this is freaking good. All right, Aquarius. All right. Slay the day, dag nabbit, son of a gun. But legit, it's more or less your person's mindset is they're thinking about the next chapter. Now, something I could see with this is how would I call that? It's like my guys are showing me something and I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is this? It's like a stage or something, like a pinnacle that's reached or something along the lines, and not like pinnacle, like, like pinnacles, but like, so this would be something almost along the lines of like where you guys are in your partnership right now. This would be like you guys were dating and now you're committed, or you've been committed and you got engaged, or, you were engaged and then you got married, or like you had your first kid, or like something along those lines. I feel it's like a new journey. So it's like an old journey that wrapped up with you and your person. And now it's like the start of this new journey, this new cycle. And there's a little bit of fear on Aquarius' side, but I feel like that's totally normal. Just, it's normal to feel that way. But the beautiful thing is that your person's mindset is they're just extremely excited about like hope for the future of like what's next for you guys and this new path and this new journey that you guys are on. Now, the energy between the two of you, child, we got the sun and the reverse. So that's, of course, my half-hearted happiness card. It's material happiness and things of the sort. So there could be some stuff here where there's a little bit of worry as far as money is involved, or this could be something that you guys are really like focusing a great deal on external kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if it's in the sense, and I mean, even to me, can I just be honest? It really doesn't. Does that really matter? I'm just being honest. Would that really matter? Like, even if it's like you guys are happy with each other, but even if you guys are like, keeping up with the Joneses and things of the sort, does it really matter if you're happy with your person? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But then in other instances here, there could be like a tad bit of delayed gratification. But once again, like just looking at you guys' individual energy, I really don't feel like that's an issue or that's really a problem you know? So sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, get started today with BetterHelp. Now let's get back to the show. So I feel that the only thing that's coming up in this, I don't really feel your person. I don't see anything with them that's concerning in this Fool card. The only thing that I'm seeing that's concerning is what I picked up for my Aquarius. And when I say concerning, I don't mean like, oh my gosh, this is freaking terrible. It just really feels to me that there's a little bit of fear of what's next. And the thing that I can tell you is whatever, next stage that you guys have gone through, right? Especially like if we're talking about just two happy single people, right? And say if you guys just start dating or something. And I always forewarn people of this. It doesn't matter how much personal work that you do as an individual person, right? Because you can come to a level of mastery with yourself as a single person. But the moment that you get into a partnership with someone else, everything changes. It's like an entirely different new dynamic, right? So you're starting from ground zero. So it's more or less what I'm seeing with this, like I was saying, this little fear I'm picking up on with Aquarius. It's more or less you got what it is that you always wanted, right? But it's like the fear of like what's next. And perfect example of this is a question I often ask women I work with is, do you want the wedding or do you want a marriage? Right? And that's something that sometimes people don't think about. So a lot of times we could really, really want like the big, huge wedding, the whole shindig, all of the things, right? But then once you get there and it's like everything's over, and you wake up next to your person, it's like a temporary depression, which I can also see in the Sun card that happens afterwards. You know what I mean? Because it's like you get so excited about or like daydream and fantasize about the day that, this person will ask you to, be their girlfriend or their boyfriend, or the day that, he proposes to you, or your wedding day, or when you have your first kid or buy your first house. And my best friend actually told me there's a term for this. And I can't recall it at the moment, but it happens with individual people too. It's like if you do like a huge presentation or something, and it's like you're nervous leading up to it. And I think it's like called achievement depression or something like that. So it's like when you're building up to like this crescendo type of thing, right? Once the event happens, it's like a temporary depression that you fall into because all of your energy was spent on this particular day or this moment or this event or, this thing happening. But once it does, it's like you fall into like this depression. You know what I'm saying? And it's more or less because it's like a decrease in dopamine because, leading up into that, and you got your cortisol and all the stuff, but it's like an increase in dopamine leading up into that particular thing. And the second that it happens, it's like it just decreases because there's not anything to look forward to anymore. And not meaning that in the bigger scheme of things of saying that like, oh, the day after you're married, like there's no longer anything to look forward to. But the thing that I'm saying, what I'm seeing with your person, it's like your person is still very much in that energy of looking forward to the future. It's like they're very hopeful for the future. And not saying that you guys aren't Aquarius. It's just like I said, it's like this temporary little sadness, this little half-hearted happiness, little energy that we have going on. If you guys are feeling this in reference to the partnership, or it's just fear-based of like waiting for the other shoe to drop or what have you, I can tell you this is totally normal, because you got what you wanted, you got to this place, but it's just kind of like either the fear of like, what's next? Like, is it always going to stay like this? Or you guys may just be feeling like, kind of low. And then there could be elements of like feeling kind of guilty, right? Because like, even I was saying like with the whole delayed gratification thing, I can see where there's delayed gratification with it. So what this really feels like to me, these are two people, like I was saying before, that either just got together or you guys have graduated to a new level of your partnership. And the delayed gratification lied in the fact that it, like, Aquarius has been waiting for this to happen for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? But it's just now that you're here, it's kind of like, okay, like I got what I wanted now. So what are we doing type of deal, right? Now, the outcome, we have the Ace of Wands. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's a whole new freaking beginning. It's like, just take a page out your person's book. That's all I'm saying. It's a whole new beginning. Like I was saying, dude, y'all are starting an entirely new journey, you know, whatever this is. And every time like a relationship graduates, whether that's two single people coming together, whether that's you going from, you know, like I was saying before, dating, going up into being committed to engaged to married to having your first kid, buying your first house. It's like all of that is like a new cycle that's starting over, right? So I think it's more or less like it's a chapter that's closing out for you guys, Aquarius. But like where I say take a page from your person's book, like I said to you guys in the beginning, just enjoy the moment, man. Don't let fear creep in. Now, the advice that we have, we got to do a little deep diving in things, you know what I'm saying? So there's a need to really get down to the truth of the matter as far as you guys' advice go, Aquarius. It's like, so that fear that I was picking up on in this 10 of Pentacles, like the fear of the future, the fear of what's next, or waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? Even if it's like the little temporary sadness where, I don't know, it could be a myriad of different things. It could be a little commitment phobia. You know what I'm saying? It could be a myriad of different things. Like if you just had a kid, it could be like, am I going to be a good parent? You know, I don't want to screw the kid up. It could be a myriad of different things. But the thing that's going to behoove you, and I would say specifically, one, pay attention to your dreams, because that's important, and process those. I wrote a book on telling you how to interpret your dreams. It's on my website. You know what I'm saying? It's called Dream Work. So holler at that, you know what I'm saying, if you want to dive a little deeper. But the truth of the matter is there's a need for you to really get to the root of what this is. For some of you guys, this could be like mommy issues. And I find it so fascinating because it's something that's been coming up a lot in the Soulmate Sessions, which is why I've been like recommending a whole bunch of books. So especially for those of you guys where you had a mother that was emotionally absent, right? There's tendencies where there's a mother who's emotionally absent where you struggle with vulnerability or you fear vulnerability. So a lot of times, which is what I would see with this material happiness with the sun in the reverse, it's like a lot of times how it is that you'll approach relationships, not saying that you're superficial, but it's kind of from a structured checklist kind of way, where even with partner selection, it's like it's looking at a partner of, you know, or do they have a degree? Do they have a stable job? Do they have a 401k? And it's like, you know, me as a partner, I'm supposed to, you know, I'm just throwing out random stuff here. I'm supposed to cook. I'm supposed to clean. I'm supposed to take care of the home. And it's like, these are the, you know, rigid structured things that I'm supposed to do, that they're supposed to do. And this is how I know that this is a good person, because of this kind of checklist. You know what I'm saying? And even if there were issues with, I'm feeling specifically a mother figure, dude. But if there was issues with a mother figure, and with your mother figure, you never really had an example of like a healthy relationship or a healthy marriage, it's like this subconscious fear that I feel that's coming up in reference to you guys in the future is like almost like a fear of turning into your mom, if I could say it that way. That's like kind of what it feels like to me. And of course, with this being the moon, it's like this isn't something that would be conscious. Like this would be like a subconscious fear of kind of like how your life path went leading up until now, was you trying to be the polar opposite of with this. And I mean, depending on who I'm talking to, because I mean, if this is a dude, I mean, it could be your maternal figure, it could be your paternal figure, it could, because I mean, with the moon, for me, that's mama. But I mean, I'm just hearing from my guides, for some dudes, this is like a father figure. So it's like, you know how to be a good partner in the sense of like external stuff, like provision type of stuff, like everything that the 10 of coins represents. But it's like, it's a fear of kind of going deep or being too open or being too vulnerable. And that's like the dichotomy that I'm seeing between you and your person. It's like a little bit of a fear of vulnerability and opening up. And for some of you, it might not even be fear-based. It's just that you never witnessed it. Like going back to this maternal figure, you never witnessed it. So you don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, there's ways around that. Like I've literally been telling everybody to go to therapy. Like in every single one of these soulmate sessions, I've been telling everyone to go to therapy. So, I mean, if that is something that you're kind of dealing with, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can totally go to a therapist, not even that long, child. You ain't even got to be there a year to deal with vulnerability type of issues, or you could read one of these books that I got recommended in the description box. But that's the vast difference that I'm seeing between you and your person. Your person is totally stepping out on faith, like heart open, willing to take a huge chance. Even though, you know, whenever we take chances, because love is all about risk, right? So even though they're taking a really huge chance, it's like they're doing it full gusto. But I'm just picking up with Aquarius. It's kind of it's not that you don't love the person and you don't care about them. It's just like a reluctance to be on the type of time that they're on with being fully open-hearted, because there's a fear involved in that, right? So you guys' advice is to dig deeper in the month of July, even going into August, to really get to the root of why that is, right? Because I feel there's some sort of connection with that. It's like with what it is that you're fearing, right, is going to happen next, or is this going to last? Like, is this going to fall apart type of deal? Like that whole little mindset or whatever, that's coming from a place that's a lot deeper than I think you guys are aware of. You know what I'm saying? So it's subconscious to conscious type of deal. But just kind of, I'm sure, you know, Aquarius, you guys have other placements in your chart, whether this is your Venus or, you know, your sun, moon, rising, whatever. I'm sure you guys have other placements in your chart. And I think if you scroll back and look at the other signs that you have in your chart, it will give you a nice little example of why it is that your friend Marlo is telling you to handle this, my friend. Because this mirroring effect that I have been seeing with all of the other signs, it's like if one person takes a stance, it's like it'll affect your person. Or I talk about the breakdown of intimacy. Like the true definition of intimacy is when you believe that your partner has your best interest at heart, right? And if there's a level of fear or fully opening up and you're showing up like that, and you have a person who's fully open-hearted, that's like coming to you like, you know, take me into your arms, I love you, right? And you're like, oh yeah, cool. You're totally here, but you're still a little guarded. You know what I mean? Eventually they're going to start to pick up on that, and then they're going to start matching your energy. And that's what you don't want, right? But all in all, the thing I'm saying is that I see for you guys, this looked like the best soulmate session so far, because y'all are in a really good place. I just feel like this is coming out as like a forewarning, because for whatever reason, and y'all definitely let me know in the comments, like what new chapter you guys are on with your person. But it's like you guys are starting a new chapter. There's a clean slate, right? And you're being given an opportunity to kind of nip this in the bud before it's an issue. You feel what I'm saying? But anywho, let's go ahead and do our pick a card. So go ahead and pick number 1, 2, 3, or 4. These cards are so fascinating. Go ahead and pick 1, 2, 3, or 4. You know, pause me if you're not in the premiere, but follow your first mind. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, if you pick number 1, we have butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child growth. Oh my gosh. Okay. If you pick number 1, this is the entire reading. This is also Gemini energy. Every time I see butterflies, I always think of Geminis. But legit, dude, if you pick number 1, this to me pretty much encapsulates everything that I said in this soulmate session. Like your relationship is definitely evolving. It's going to another level. And with this moon in the reverse, that's speaking very much to you guys getting clear and, you know, confronting any inner child wounds, right? Because it's going to allow you to evolve and grow. And it's always going to help your relationship grow even more so. You know what I'm saying? Because a relationship is only as good as the two people that are in it. You feel what I'm saying? But anywho, if you pick number 2, we have the golden mirror. It says self-absorbed, narcissistic, one-sided relationship, love bombing. That came out for, I can't remember who it was I did before, y'all. Who was it? Was it Gemini? It was either Gemini or it was Libra. I can't remember which one it is at the moment, but that came out for number 4 for them. But yes, but with the golden mirror, my people who pick group 2, this is the forewarning that I was giving to you guys just a few seconds ago when I was talking about, like, if you have a fear of vulnerability, your person is open-hearted and you're reluctant for whatever reason, because I mean, literally, like when we talk about mommy issues, maybe my people who pick group 2 could have potentially had a narcissistic mother, right? That still puts them in the category of emotionally absent. So it's just like this fear, you know what I'm saying? Like this very fear-based kind of energy of fully opening up to someone because you have, you know, potentially have been raised by someone who extorted your vulnerability or your openness or made you feel silly for doing so. You know what I'm saying? So it's being raised in like a one-sided relationship with a parent to where you're consistently trying to give to the parent or be like the good kid, you know, the golden child for your parent, and not really understanding what it feels like to allow your needs to be met. And that's usually the 2 ways that it ends up happening is like children who are raised by narcissistic parents, they'll either overcompensate and like overgive to other people and like completely self-neglect themselves, or they ice their hearts off, right? Because it's like a fear of opening up, right? So for my group 2 people, holla at the books, holler at your friendly local neighborhood therapist or our partner BetterHelp. Just saying, you know, shameless plug. If you pick number 3, oh child, we have seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third-party interference. Oh my goodness. I'm not saying who it is that this is falling on. You feel what I'm saying? But I look at certain things like this, like the stuff we've talked about with childhood wounds, or, you know what I'm saying, like fear of vulnerability and things of the sort. All of those things are open doors and partnerships to where we could end up in less than stellar situations that we really don't want to be in, don't really feel that we should be in. So I have been forewarning everyone about that because I don't know why. Like I have not seen third party type of stuff in any of the soulmate sessions I've done thus far. However, I consistently keep getting, that was very redundant. I consistently get this message about like this seductive kind of energy and like a third party person kind of coming in. So my intention with these is to show you guys if there's any like, you know, open back doors, cracks in the door that need to be closed. And this is more or less for my group 3 people. It's a forewarning, right? Because when our heart is shut off, dude, it's just a myriad of things that could happen. It's like you start having breakdown in like your partnership and stuff like that. And then it's like, here comes this person just at the right time that just kind of, you know, seduces you. You feel what I'm saying? And you end up acting on something that isn't really what you want to do, but you're really dealing with like subconscious issues and things of the sort. You know what I'm saying? And your shadow just be destroying your life and things. So just be conscious of that, you know? So I can't say that I don't really feel your person per se. Only way I could see that is if we were to project this into the future and like say if Aquarius just totally didn't listen to anything that I said and stayed kind of shut down and your person felt like emotionally neglected in a sense, then there's the potential that something like that could happen on your person's end. You feel what I'm saying? So just be conscious of that. On the other side of this, what I will say is that it's imperative to seduce your partner. You know what I'm saying? We do have the outcome being the Ace of Wands here. I'm just saying. And not even just seducing them in, you know, the physical, very, you know, phallic kind of sense, but keeping the romance fresh. You know what I mean? Doing something different, surprising them. You know what I'm saying? So that's my advice, my little 2 cents on that side of things. But y'all just be careful with that. I'm just saying. Now, if you pick number 4, We have separation. It says sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of future. Interesting. I was saying with Aquarius that the vibe I was getting with this 10 of coins was unsure of the future, like being afraid that something was going to pop off. But I'm getting a whole different kind of energy signature here with my group 4 people, because this kind of feels like, to me, it's one or two ways. It's either if your person is compulsively overworking right now, or Aquarius is compulsively overworking right now, because it feels very specific, like just this channel message I'm getting right now for group 4 people. The very specific thing I'm feeling with this is it's like emotional abandonment. And it's one person, it's either Aquarius or it's your person that feels emotionally abandoned because either Aquarius or your person is like working a lot. But I'm just gonna, just so I don't confuse y'all, child. If it's, you know, if it's the other way around, then just flip it. But what I'm seeing specifically is like, it would be like an Aquarius person who's working a lot because the stuff that you're focused on would be the stuff that's in alignment with the sun in the reverse, because you feel that's what your definition of a happy relationship is. It's financial security, financial stability, like us buying a house, having money, like that's what's important. And that's, of course, coming from, right, like this old school conditioning, but it's not in alignment with what your person's value system is, because it's like their value system is like togetherness, connection, intimacy, like, you know, taking life by the horns and you guys being on the journey of life together. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. It's like passion and excitement and, you know, taking chances, getting messy, making mistakes. Shout out to the Magic School Bus. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, it's not necessarily a disconnect between the two of you. It's just that the two of you value two very different things. So this, to me, 4, 3, and 4 are both forewarnings to me. I mean, I feel like all these are forewarnings, child. I'm just saying, but for different reasons. But for my group 4 people, it's more or less a forewarning to that breakdown in intimacy I talked to you guys about. And it's not really so much that there's any malicious intention. It's just that your value systems of how it is you're intended to show up in a relationship, everything that I said in the beginning, are just very different, right? This person is all about passion. You're all about provision type of deal. And I feel this is a forewarning because it's like, whichever person it is, whether it's you or your person, it's like, it's feeling like emotionally abandoned. And if that goes back to like a childhood kind of thing where vulnerability isn't something that, you know, you really know how to do or whatever. And it's like, how do you not know that I love you? And I mean, we could even say this in a sense, child, of love languages. I might even put the link to that quiz below. Let me write that down. I might even put the link to that. I love how like these love readings are allowing me to give you guys so many therapeutic resources, and I am here for the shit. Do you understand me? I love therapeutic resources. Have you seen my library? No, you probably haven't. But anywho, but I feel this is like a forewarning to not fall into that, because it literally could be that you guys have 2 different love languages. Like your person could be quality time and you could be, you know, acts of service. And it's like kind of missing the boat on the 2 of you not understanding that the other is communicating love because you're speaking 2 different languages. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But all in all, I feel like this is a forewarning specifically for those people. I don't feel that this is like, hey, you guys are really happy now, and this foreboding fear that you had, you know what I'm saying? Aquarius is your person is about to drop you like a bad habit. No, I don't feel that that's the case at all. But I do feel, and I don't know why my guides are showing me these 2, it's like, if whatever the root of the issue is here, if that isn't handled, this could potentially be the foreseeable future, which is what I was saying with this card, where if you have a person that's feeling emotionally neglected, this is something that potentially would happen in the future if this isn't dealt with, right? So I'm just letting y'all know ahead of time. You feel what I'm saying? But as it stands, you're in a good place because you guys are starting a new cycle. So I hope and pray that this makes sense. My beautiful Aquarius, let me know what you think in the comments. You know, I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends. Kiss, kiss.